And we're live, we're back. And this time with Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped by Ghost Senpai. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks for the introduction, and yes, people, now it's time to watch some Crash Bandicoot Warp action. And before I start the run, I'm gonna make a dead abuse, meaning I'm gonna make the Crash dice, and then I'm gonna reset the game, and obviously I'm gonna start a new run. The reason why I do this is mostly because the game is cycle based, so every time you die, the cycles are reset. So I'm gonna use this to my favor. So I'm gonna make the Crash lose alive, then I'm gonna quit the game and I'm gonna start one. The real time starts when I get the control of Crash, like 5.5 seconds after I press the cross button on new game, but I'm gonna make the countdown and making the timer starts on new game. So I'm gonna make a countdown, 3, 2, 1, go. So I delayed a bit, so probably I'm not gonna be able to catch some cycles correctly, but well, this is a marathon run. It doesn't care so much, I think. So, okay, my mistake. So what I'm doing here is to deactivate the sound effects. The reason why I do this is because there are some cutscenes that get triggered depending on which stage you enter and with the amount of crystals that you have, relics, gems, or whatever. And that cutscenes are Cortex and or they're always talking to us, or also Aku Aku, the mask who is helping to us on our journey. So for some reason, if I deactivate them, that cutscenes are not triggered. I think that this saves on this category like 30 seconds, between 30 to 45 seconds. Honestly, I don't remember exactly the amount. And let's say that saves 30 seconds, which is a huge amount of time, considering that even one frame on a speedrun matters. So the category is called Any Person Item Glitch, which means that I'm gonna go through the intended Any Person route. Since there's a item glitch that it's like in Super Mario Brothers that if we remember in that game, okay, I got stuck. I'm not gonna take that shortcut. So in Super Mario Brothers, if you keep stomping the enemies without touching the floor, you're gonna gain more and more points up to the point you're gonna start to gain extra lives. This is a similar case with this title, but instead of okay, there we go. But instead of having the points, we're gonna have Wumpa Fruit, and after 5 jumps, we're gonna start to gain extra lives. So there's a point that the game is not gonna give to us the lives. And besides of that, it's gonna enter to a kind of glitch mode because it doesn't gonna know which kind of items it's gonna give to us. So it starts to give to the player crystals, gems, relics, and that's basically the item glitch. Kinda similar to the one that we seen in Crash 2, but it's more slow to get it on Crash 3 and also not so very interesting at some point. But that glitch is banned, meaning that this is the intended Any Person route by the developers. And the first stage was Under Pressure, the first underwater stage, and this is the first stage with Coco, Orient Express. Coco is the little sister from Crash. So cute, I should say. I like her. I really like her. And well, and the category also means that the intended Any Person route is just to get all the 25 crystals and then defeat Cortex, meaning that I'm not gonna go for the gems or the relics. And let's see if I get the cuddle skip. If I get it, I'm gonna save 5 seconds. There we go, I got it. 5 seconds saved. So what I have got here, it's a cuddle skip, and there's an animation we're gonna see later on the stage, where Coco makes a cuddle with Pura, that little tiny that little tiger. So what does it makes is that cutscene cannot be skipped, and it makes us to waste 5 seconds. So making a kind of higher jump, making that the game gets confused with some part of the roof, considering it as if it were off the floor, it can help to us to get a higher jump, making that we reach the portal, skipping this animation, saving 5 seconds. So I think that's something good, mostly for a marathon, and also for runs. And so the plot of the game is that everything starts when the second game finishes at the 100%, when the Cortex Vortex, which is the Cortex space station, gets destroyed and some parts of it falls down into the earth, making that Uka Uka, the aerial twin from Aku Aku, gets free from its version, and thanks to it, Uka Uka goes against Cortex, being mad with him since he failed twice into dominating the world, but since he got free, he feels so pleased in some way. So, using the time machine that Nefarious Trophy built, they're planning to travel around the world in the time just to get all the crystals, gems, and relics to use their energy to dominate the world. But since we are the good guys, Crash, Coco, and Aku Aku needs to get them first before the bad guys do that. So basically, that's the history of this title. This was released as a PlayStation exclusive in 1998, released and developed by Naughty Dog. And this game turns into 20 years old this year, has turned 20 years old this year. And now I'm gonna play the first stage of the game, which is gonna be the fourth stage I'm gonna play on the run. And this is the principal moving technique that we're gonna be using during on the run, called neutral slide jump, which means that every time I perform a slide, I'm gonna release the D-pad or the analog stick, whatever I'm using, and then I'm gonna press the jumping button to keep the speed up from the slide on the air, making that Crash moves slightly faster than the intended way. Okay, I got luck there. Because in Crash Bandicoot 2 we use the neutral slide spin, which is kinda similar, but instead of a jump, we make a spin. But for some reason, looks like Naughty Dog noticed about it for this game, so they patched it, because if we try to do it, we cannot get it. Crash just stops. So the only way that we can do this is just making the slide and then jumping. Not a big deal, but it's the fastest way to move on the game. And also, like the previous game, this is not so linear depending on the warp room, meaning that I can beat every of these 5 stages on any order. I'm gonna go through a specific order, because on the second game, the masks nerfs the neutral slide spin, but this is not the case on Crash 3 with the neutral slide jump. Even it gives to us more speed, so I'm gonna go through in a specific order in order to keep the masks and using them. So if I lose one mask in some moment, I'm gonna change my route through a backup one. There are some backup masks in some stages that I'm gonna try to keep at the end of each warp room, mostly for safeness. And well, this is the 4th stage, Boneyard, and also the last stage, well, the only stage that I haven't completed on this first warp room. This warp room is so short, honestly. It takes between 8 to 9 minutes. Not a big problem, not a big deal. And also, I have to say that for the neutral slide movement, you can use both analog and or D-pad. But in this case, I'm playing using the D-pad. My controller is a PS1 controller that doesn't have the analog sticks, a digital controller. The reason why I use the D-pad is because it's a little bit preciser than the analog stick for the movements. I can perform also zigzag, which is basically mash up, left, up, right, and all that kind of stuff, to increase also my speed for a bit. So making a good combination for the zigzagging and the neutral slide jump, I can get a very good amount of increase the speed. And plus the fact that analog stick for most of the PS1 games, including this, is slower, so it's better to use the D-pad instead of the analog stick for this game. And now we have the first boss battle, Tiny Tiger. Don't worry, this is normal that we don't have music in the background. The reason of this is because for some reason, if we press triangle, that triangle is mostly used to skip a lot of stuff on PS1 games. If we press triangle faster to skip the first cutscene, for some reason the music doesn't start to play. So if we want to hear the music, we need to make it Crash loses life, and or get out of the stage, re-enter to it, and wait for a bit before we skip the cutscene. I think that this also happens on the Ball version. I'm using the NTSC version, the American release, because in the Japanese version of the game that was patched, so we're gonna have the music most of the time. And since on Ball version Crash moves faster, it's better in some way to run the game on the NTSC version. Since, well, we're aware that Ball games run 17% slower than NTSC version, so Naughty Dog decided to add more speed to Crash on the PAL releases. But also for some reason the game was changed, making it more harder on the PAL version, and some parts, mostly the Coco stages, are slower on PAL. So it's better to use the American release. There is not any big difference between the American and Japanese release, just the obviously the text, voices, and for some reason each time we catch an Aku mask, he's gonna give to us some hints to beat faster the game, but if we deactivate the sound effects, he doesn't talk to us, which is something good. But the problem with the Japanese release is that each load it's 0.3 seconds slower, meaning that for this category, considering that you just enter to each stage one time, you're gonna lose 18 seconds. I'm gonna wait here. This guy turns back, and I keep going. As I said before, the masks are important. So if some reason I haven't got the masks here, if I have finished the first warp room with one or no mask, I should have started through stage 6, which is my backup, and we're gonna see that later. The reason of why that stage is a backup stage is because you can get 3 Aku's masks there. Some stages has 2, some stages has 1, like stage 7 and this stage 9, so it's important that I start each of these stages with both masks. I mean, I think that, yes, this stage, I think that it has also backup mask, just in case that you have one when you enter. It doesn't make you lose a huge amount of time, but at the same time we need to be careful, and also, thanks to neutral light jump, as we have seen, we can reach some extended parts of the game, because it's supposed that for that platform you should have activated switch, and that's another Aku mask that it's a backup one. But with the neutral slide jump, we just simply make this. We can reach these spots. I was close to die there. Fortunately, I haven't died. I'm so glad about it. And again, I'm not gonna activate the switch at this last section. I'm gonna be able to catch this just with the neutral slide jump, and there we go. This was just stage 9. And yeah, Gooby, it's me, Ghost! Sorry, I haven't read the chat. And yeah, this is a hype moment. They watch some Crash action. So now this is Midnight Run, the second and last stage with Pura, but not the last stage with the cute little sister Coco. There's a way also to skip the Kolo on this stage, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not able to do it. I have practiced it a lot and I have died. Never mind. I have practiced it a lot, but I cannot get it simply. But it doesn't matter that I have died here and I have lost my mask, since after this I'm gonna go through stage 6. And as I've said before, it has 3 masks. I'm gonna lose time, obviously, since I'm not gonna be able to get invincibility starting the stage, but it's not a big deal at the same time. I mean, this is a marathon, so for marathon runs, the most important thing is just to make a good showcase of the run, so I hope that I'm doing that. If I'm not doing it, just tell me on chat and I'm gonna try to get better. Question mark? So the way that you make the Kilo skip here is with some damage boosting, meaning that you need to have at least 1 mask. And also that's the reason why you go through stage 6, because starting the stage you can get 2 masks. Because it's supposed that you finish this one with just 1 mask. And this is the animation that we have skipped on Orient Express, which was the first stage. This was my own run, just in case that I have mistaken the names. So now it's time to move to stage 6. Gee whiz. And then we're gonna move up to stage 8, which has been the only one that, well, the last stage that we're gonna beat on this warp room. As we have seen, there are some stages that we can play with Crash, some that we play with as Crash, and some of them that we play as Coco. Something curious, a fun fact that I can add is that on Insane Trilogy, this was changed. So in most of the stages you can play as both Coco and Crash. But on the stages like the Pura ones or, well, the Coco exclusive stages, you cannot play as Crash, and on the boss fights you cannot play as Coco. So if I should have got invincibility, I should have stopped here. So I think that with that I have lost like 5 seconds, between 5 to 6 seconds probably. I'm not so aware, I don't know exactly. And this is, here lies the last Echo Mask of the stage. Here lies the crystal. And there we go. Now it's time to go through stage number 8, which is the first motorbike stage. This stage is called Hog Wild, and it's just an strict stage. As the water stages with Coco, I just need to keep pressing the cross button. Yes, as you can see, my controller doesn't have the analog sticks. So you need to keep pressing the cross button to make that Crash moves, and I just need to keep pressing left and right, and that's everything on this stage. So the way that you win, you get here the crystal is just to win the race. Obviously, you need to finish at first place, otherwise you're not gonna get it. But if you go for the boxes to get the gem, it doesn't matter the position you get. You at the end get the gem if you catch it, obviously at the end of the track. And using that speed panel, that speed boosting panel that are on the floor, I can make that Crash gets on one wheel, making that he moves a bit faster. So that's the way that you can optimize your time on these stages. And there we go, second warp room almost complete. We just need to go through the second boss fight, which is Dingodile. And I am here that certain announcer hasn't mute his mic, so sometimes we have some weird noises. I just say that because probably somebody between the public is saying, why does the runners making that weird noises? But I'm saying I'm not doing it, so that's not my issue, that's not my problem. So second boss fight, Dingodile, we're gonna cut like 1 minute doing this, making an extended or well a higher jump. The way that you do this is just to make and slide, and then you need to press the jump and spin button at the same time. You're gonna gain more speed, and with this you're gonna get a higher jump. The intended way to beat this boss is that he's gonna start to throw some fireballs around outside of where he is, and then he's gonna start to destroy the walls. And when he starts to destroy them, you can enter and reach him, make and spin, and then get out of there. But making that higher jump, you can cut like 1 minute on this boss fight. Time to move to the third warp room, and let's bless in order to not get a crash, because on stage 15 double header, this is the first time I'm gonna play since I have 2 masks. So it can crash. It's so weird that it happened. Unfortunately, I haven't got that, but just in case, I have a backup save for this situation. And there we go, the game hasn't crashed. Reason why that stage crashes is because there's a lot of elements that the console is loading, so sometimes it cannot read it correctly. And also sometimes if you get affected by that crash, it just can get freeze for some seconds, or it just can crash on the worst of the cases. Usually it just freezes for some seconds, for like 1 to 2 seconds, and then you can play it normally. But on the worst scenarios, the game can crash. I have never got that, but I have a backup save just in case that someday when I run the game on a marathon that happens. And also, there's a fun fact about this game. We know that Japan is weird, and sometimes in some games show some nudity and all that kind of stuff, even with underage characters. But in some way they are a bit sensitive with the blood and all that kind of weird stuff. But this game doesn't have anything of that, but this was effect on the Japanese release. As we can see, these big enemies that just appear on this stage, and That's the reason why this stage is called Double Header. That enemy has just 2 hits. But on the Japanese release, it was modified and you just have 1, because Sony of Japan think that probably that was gonna be something scary for the Japanese people, so for the Japanese audience, so that was the reason why the game was modified there. Also, the name of the stage was modified, but at this moment I don't remember exactly which was the name. But some stages were renamed for some reasons, and another for just because they wanted to change it. I'm opening the egg from that dinosaur there, but I'm not gonna catch it. Just for swag purposes, I'm gonna get him later, like this over here. So come here, little dinosaur. Come on, get on the floor. Everybody wants a dinosaur. Some damage boosting because it's more faster to lose him, besides of waiting until Crash jumps outside of him on this part, because we cannot move as the dino here. There's a glitch that you can perform and move with him here, but it's slow, not faster. Let's move to the second and last, fortunately, underwater stage that this game has, stage 12. Which is also a backup stage, but I don't care honestly. The reason why this stage is a backup, well, I should have entered to stage 13 now that I'm thinking, but anyways. The reason why this stage is a backup is because on underwater stages you cannot get the invincibility pace, so for example, if I have here 2 masks and then I go through this section where the third mask is gonna be, instead of having that box displayed, we're gonna have a question mark one, which is gonna give to us 10 Wumpa fruits. If I don't get hit, we're gonna see that, because this is the position, there it is, where it's supposed that Aqua mask appears. But since I have 2 masks, it's not gonna appear. Okay, I have lost 1 mask, but it doesn't matter. I don't use the mask on the next stage, which is stage 13. Because you can use it, but I cannot get correctly the invincibility pace there. It's a bit complicated for me. I'm gonna wait here, and I'm gonna try to keep at least this last mask. I'm really gonna need it. I wait this little whirlpool, and I keep going straight. Damage boosting to lose this vehicle and keep moving faster. And there we go, stage 12. Now stage 13, probably my last favorite from this warp room. Okay. And also, every time I defeat a boss, it's gonna give to me an item, a power up, sorry. When I have defeated Tiny Tiger, I got a better version from Body Slam. Okay, I have lost my mask, but never mind. And when I have defeated Dingodile, I got the double jump. I get reach it, nice. I'm just gonna wait here to be a bit safe. Catch the checkpoint for safeness purposes. I don't really need it, but who cares? Well, it's better to keep safe. Okay, that was a close one. Oh my goodness. The game dropped my grabbing input. Just gonna wait here. And again, the game dropped my input. Nice. And yes, that's another bad or awful part of this game, that the original Crash trilogy drops your inputs a lot. This is something unfortunate. Okay, so it's time to go through Road Crash, which is stage 14, and the only one that I haven't beaten from this warp room. And there are 3 of these motorbike stages that we're gonna see during this entire run, but besides that, Orange Asphalt stage 22 is the last of this, and it's more longest. It's not so complicated like Road Crash. Road Crash is a kinda tricky or hard in some way, since there's a lot of obstacles and the IA character doesn't want to cooperate with you, so probably I'm gonna keep quiet during this. So just in case the announcer has something to say, this can be a good opportunity, otherwise I will keep quiet during the rest of the stage just to get focused.
At the moment we have no donations, but we do still have some incentives open. So you still can donate to the following incentives: Pokemon Mystic, run by Crew, and the Sonic Mania run.
Feels bad, man, that we don't have donations, but well, if you are planning to donate, you have here some cool incentives that were happening on the marathon, so what are you waiting for, donating, people? And there we go, this was Road Crash. I need to say that deaths on the previous stage were a bit awkward, but not a big deal at the same time. I mean, my PB is 52 minutes with 7 seconds, and my estimate is 1 hour, so I have close to 8 minutes, just in case that I get some awful mistakes. And well, again, we have this kind of same glitch last on Tiny Tiger with N Trophy. This also happens on the Japanese release, and I think also on the PAL. So what happens here is that the music doesn't start to play, but on a bit it's gonna start to play it, so... Anyways. So this is N Trophy, this is the guy who built this time machine that we're using. So here we need to beat him. And this is the way that we're watching. And not a big deal also. We need to wait for this. There we go. Now 1 extra hit, and then we're gonna move to the third and the next yeah, I know, everybody's break right now, thanks to Christmas. That's my situation also. That's the reason why I haven't bought Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, because I also need to buy a Pro Controller. So I don't have money, so RIP Smash for me. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it on the rest of the month. Well, all my friends are playing it right now, and instead of it, I'm playing Crash 3. I don't complain about that. So now that we beat it in trophy, we got a tornado spin that extends our spin, and at the same time it can make that we can keep on the air for some moments. I'm gonna be using that later on the run. And now since I don't have any masks, it's time to start with the backup stages. I'm gonna start through stage 18. It just have one mask. Again, another pretty straight stage. Need to keep pressing the cross button while I'll move through all this water on the ocean. And I have lost my mask. RIP. So this means that I'm gonna change entirely my route. Hoping that I can get some extra masks later, because I really need them. I'm gonna wait here. Okay, never mind. I got it. Now it's time to change our route again. I'm gonna take some risks here because this is a bit more harder stage. So let's see how everything goes. Okay, interesting. This is the only mask that stage has, and I'm gonna try to keep it. Not gonna be an easy task. Okay, that was so close. I used to run in Century. I was one of the first runners of the game, but I don't run it anymore since I used to run it on my PS4. But last year there was an earthquake in my country, so fortunately nothing bad happened. But that earthquake made that that earthquake killed my PS4. So for now I'm not able to run the game since I don't have a PS4. I have a Nintendo Switch, but the reason why I haven't bought the game on the Switch is because now since the PC version was released, now it's the optimal version to run in ST, and I'm saving money. That's the reason why I haven't bought also Smash Ultimate. I'm saving money to get a new computer at the end of this month. Okay, so I'm gonna be back on. Probably I'm gonna be back on the speedrunning on this Trilogy at the end of the month. It's that, or well, I'm gonna play it first casually again, just to get used, because it's so different. Even the physics, the routes, and the movements are not the same. If we consider that Vicarious Visions hasn't used the original code for the game on Insane Trilogy, they made the game from scratch, so I think that's something that we need to recognize for them, because that's not something so easy. Some little monkeys. And now that I have 2 masks, it's time to go to stage 20, because in that stage is more important to use the mask, and I'm gonna show you the reason of that, and plus another kind of stuff that you can do with the invisibility pace. Yeah, I know, it sucks, but if everything goes fine, like in 2 or 3 weeks, just like in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm gonna be back on Insane Trilogy speedrunning. Personally, I prefer to run original games, but Insane Trilogy is not so bad at all. I like to run both games. Each game has their good parts. There are some ups and downs between the PS1 releases and the remastered versions. But I mean, I haven't cared so much about my PS4 because I don't really use it. My brother was the one who used more the console. Honestly, before Insane Trilogy, the only games that I used to play were Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, but I have bought it recently for the Switch, and Hatsune Miku Project Diva X. Also, I used to play Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, but then I got bored about the game, and also Destiny, but I haven't liked that. But Bungie and Activision added a lot of DLCs, and I wasn't planning to buy them, so I have stopped to play Destiny. So it wasn't a big lose. But at the same time, I wanna buy again a PS4, so I'm gonna see if I got some money left after I buy my computer. I'm gonna buy a PS4. Well, there are some runners that prefer to run the PS1 versions. There are some runners that prefer to run in just a NST game, and there are runners that prefer to run both of them, and I'm one of that guys. I mean, I have a personal preference for the PS1 releases, but I like to play both games. And well, I'm not so worried about the CTR remake. Well, in some way yes, but I'm gonna hope that they are making a good work. So which stage I haven't beat? This is the one that I haven't beat. Bye Blimps, the last stage with Coco, and the last stage that we're gonna see on this warp room. This is the stage. I just need to defeat these Blimps. They have a huge hitbox, so I shouldn't get worked. And also the AI characters for each shoot that makes 1% of damage. Not something to get worth, honestly, but I need to be careful also. And keeping talking about the remakes, I'm aware that the game is gonna be released also on Nintendo Switch, but I wanna get a PS4 mostly to play and run the game there because I'm planning to run it. I also run Crash Team Racing, and I wanna get it at PS4 because most of my friends are gonna buy the game on the PS4. I'm also gonna get it on the Nintendo Switch to have the game on the go and play with my friends at university in some break times. But mostly I wanna get a PS4 for CTR for nostalgic purposes because CTR was a PS1 exclusive title and the PS1 was my first console and it has a big sentimental and nostalgic value for me. So I'm gonna bless and I'm gonna hope that they make a good work with CTR. Because mostly I'm a bit curious about how it's gonna be different compared with the original game. And now, time to say goodbye to Coco and time to see the... Wait, what happened? Okay, sorry guys, I have light. This is the real last stage with Coco. The only boss fight that she has. That is against Engine. On my splits I have this as a real game boss because No Cortex, which is the last boss of the game, it's a joke. It's more interesting to defeat, okay, this is bad, to defeat Engine here. Besides of Cortex, in my opinion. So he's gonna have two phases. This is the first one. Then he's gonna change his armor, and now Puras is gonna appear here to help to us. I'm gonna try to don't get hit, and I got hit. This is gonna be a bit complicated. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna play a bit safely. Because another shoot and I'm gonna be dead. But for some reason, the bullets changed their way that they're moving, which is weird. Fun fact, there was a time that I was running a Japanese release besides it was slow. And I got a crash here on a PV pace. So now we got the fruit bazooka. That's just a bazooka with that throws Wumpa fruit. I'm gonna use it also sometimes. And now I'm gonna go to probably the most hardest and or annoying stage for this round, which is Mad Bombers, stage 24. And also some stages like Bye Bye Balloons and Mad Bombers quit you your masks, so it's better to enter with no masks or wear when you are not gonna use them anymore. So since I don't have any masks, I'm gonna play it first. The IA characters are more aggressive, the hitboxes from the planes is reduced, and each hit from every IA character gives to us a 4% of damage. Fun fact, both Bye Bye Balloons and Mad Bombers are amazingly easier on NST. And personally, I felt that on NST, these guys are less aggressive. Okay, I just need to take down another plane and I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna bless in order to don't get hit by any of these guys. Or let's get the balloon! Okay, this is bad, please, please. Catch it, that balloon! Thank you. Okay. Oh my god, that was something risky. And there we go. That was a crystal. Now stage 25, box light. This is the only stage that gives to us 4 masks. So if you don't start this warp room with mad bombers, um, you will prefer to start here due to the masks. So if everything goes fine like this, probably this is gonna be a 53. Okay, I have lost the mask, but it doesn't matter, I'm gonna have 3 later. But I'm not gonna be able to freeze some cycles, making a damage boosting. Suppose that I should have done a damage boosting there. And there we go, 3 masks. I move a bit slower, so I prefer to wait there for the wall cycle, because I don't want to lose the masks. So the last futuristic stage, stage 21. What do you do? The fruit bazooka over here. Also, I'm gonna kill these bad guys. And I have the only mask of all the stage. Amazing. Really amazing. Not gonna lie. I have pressed the spin button game. Okay, this is gonna be a 54. Stage 23, also Old Flame Passion, also known as Flaming. I'm gonna say that word. And I like to call this stage I like to refer to this stage as a backup base killer. Mad Bombers. On my splits, I have Mad Bombers named as base killer, and this stage is named backup base killer. Because yeah, usually if I have a good PvP pace, both stages can kill it. Wait, that was so close. Again, God bless the neutral slide jump. A little out of bounds streak. Also, a little sound to choke there over there. Yeah, the mods know. I think that the mods are aware that no game was set, but it's fine. I mean, I'm just gonna finish my run, so they should set the next game. Because usually Twitch for some reason doesn't load the game when you set it up. And this is the last regular stage, Orange Asphalt, another racing stage, and not a big problem to beat it. It's more easier than Road Crash, since there are less obstacles. But at the same time, it's a bit long. Not a big problem, again. Yes, keep me out of the road. Take me out of the road. Because you're putting as a Crash Bandicoot 3 Warp, just put it as Crash Bandicoot Warped. It uses the American release name, not the European one. That's the reason why the game hasn't been shown up, probably. Yes, I think it's gonna be a 54 or a 55. Deep. And there we go. All 25 crystals has been got. Yeah, definitely I think that this is gonna be a 54. And there we go, last boss fight and Neocortex. Even if you enter with mask to this stage, the game quits to you because Aku is gonna be fighting against Uka. And also I need to be careful because if I get close to that guy, they can give me some damage. So we have a little retrospective about how the Neocortex boss fight was in the first game, while he was shooting some laser beams. Then after he throws the mines, his shield's gonna be deactivated, and for some reason the hole in the middle it's gonna open. So we just start spinning our the main, he falls down. But we're gonna use the brothers on the for the last hit, for the last pace, just to destroy the mines and gain a little extra amount of time. And also, as you have seen, every time that I get an item, there in the game appears a text box that I skip when I press triangle. So when I catch the speed boost and power up, when I defeat Cortex, and then at the moment when I press the triangle button, the time is gonna be stopped. So please be ready for the time because it's gonna happen in like 30 seconds. Wait, he's gonna shoot that here. I'm gonna keep here just to make that the mines get destroyed. Okay, just one was destroyed. It's fine. Ready for the time. And time. So well, since I have said that the time was gonna start once I, well, how I can say this? I say that the time was gonna start once I start the new game. Really, it starts when you get the controller crash. So, okay, okay, quitting that 5.5 seconds. It's time. It was a 54:11. The real time was 54:05. Not so bad. Probably this has been one of my best runs of marathon, considering my standards. And hey, that last boss fight was a golden split for 2.6 seconds. So I'm glad with this run. And well, for my part, it's everything again. And thanks for everybody for watching this marathon. Thanks for the staff for giving me the opportunity to run both Pepsi Man and Crash Bandicoot Warp. Thanks for the people who donated for the cutscene incentive for Pepsi Man. And well, you can follow me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/UnFantasmaMas. I'm featured on the Frank Your Faces forward button. And also I'm gonna comment here on a bit just in case. I'm as a vanity runner. My principal focus are the Crash Bandicoot and Splatoon franchises, but I also run other games like Pepsi Man and Snow Brothers and all that kind of stuff. So well. Anyways, thank you for having me here, and see you guys. Peace. I'm just gonna wait until I get out of the screen and keep donating and keep watching the marathon. Now we're gonna see Star Wars Battlefront 2 run by Jack of Hearts. So, see you.
Now going for the set factory zoom.